Yo, what's going on, fellas? It's me, Daily Tactics here, back with some more Men of War Assault Squad 2, the Halo mod, and the UNSC Marines here are back, baby. This is the brand new Halo mod that just looks absolutely gorgeous, and today we are doing a full-blown UNSC assault. We have hundreds of UNSC Marine soldiers. They've got Warthogs, both of the machine gun variety as well as the rocket launcher variety. They've got troopers of every weapon variety. They got snipers, they've got heavy machine gunners, they got light machine gunners. They got it all. They got it all. They're ready for this assault, and they are going up against a Halo ODST team that has decided to disband from the army, and they have holed up in this factory to try and escape the war, essentially. But they've still got big weapons to defend themselves in case the UNSC Marines comes to try and stop their mutiny, which of course they are going to do because you can't allow mutinies in warfare. But yeah, the sad thing is there's no covenant or anything like that in the mod yet. I don't even know if they're planning on adding it. I'm kind of worried that the mod got taken down for copyright infringement from the Steam Workshop again, because I was not able to find it there. I just have the old version I downloaded, so I'm not fully sure what's going on with that. If you guys could let me know in the comment section, that would be great. So that's why we're doing another mutiny battle here, because we only have the UNSC faction to really do right now. So yeah, we're working with what we've got because I still want to see some Halo mod. But regardless, guys, without further ado, why don't we go ahead and get this thing going? Be sure to hit the like button if you're enjoying the Halo content. I hope you are. Subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get it going. Alrighty then, fellas, let's go ahead and get this thing going. The UNSC Marines begin charging on forward, and they are already getting shot at. The ODST wasting no time in this battle getting started here. We got Warthogs up in the front firing away, both a rocket launcher one and a standard one. A rocket from the defenders whizzes by this Warthog, just barely missing it there. This rocket launcher Warthog is absolutely brutal. We can see it firing in here and just getting a ton of damage done to the defenders, including taking out a machine gun that early on. More rockets are hitting actually the troopers in front of this Warthog here, protecting it, but ooh, big rocket hits the Warthog eventually, and it explodes. It is gone, bye-bye, no more of you. Let's check in on the middle and the far left. The middle seems to be doing okay. They're not really getting hit too hard. This Warthog has already gone kersplat, so that thing is gone, lost forever to scrap metal. Perhaps it can be rebuilt, who knows. This Warthog over here also has gone kersplat. We can see that there is some explosive residue on the ground, some carbon scoring there. So really we only have the rocket launcher Warthog left, if my evaluations are correct, and even that thing blown to smithereens. So these Warthogs did not last very long. It is now up to the massive UNSC infantry assault to get things done and take out the mutineers right now. And the mutineers are taking some pretty hefty losses. I mean, we've been seeing the UNSC Marines taking losses, but we haven't really dove into the ODST lines, and we're seeing lots of dead all over the place. Most of the frontal machine guns are completely down. Actually, I'm seeing all of them down. There are some further back in the battlefield, but you know, the ones front and center holding the frontal position, they're all gone. They're gone. Bye-bye. No more machine gun for you. Wait, there might be another one over here. Yeah, there is another one over here on the far right. It actually must not be in range because I'm not seeing it firing at all. I'm also not seeing it really take any fire, so that's a good thing. If you can't shoot, you better hope your enemies can't shoot you. There are some snipers amongst the UNSC Marines, so better watch out for that, though, because they could easily take your heads off without you even noticing. I'm pretty sure the Halo sniper in this is just about as powerful as the DC-15X sniper in that it can one-shot if you're at, you know, sort of that sweet spot distance, so you gotta watch out. Actually, there's two snipers right on top of each other right here. That's kind of sick looking, not gonna lie. Look at these fellas firing away. Oh, that is BA right there, boys. Reloads, fires again, reloads, fires again. Getting constant fire out there for the boys, helping the boys out. The ODST defenses are honestly holding very, very strong at this point. The interior, for instance, is just almost completely untouched. It's the exterior that's taking a beating. Not that the UNSC Marines can't like even hit these guys in the interior. Oh, just now people are starting to go down. If I were the UNSC Marines, I'd be concentrating fire sort of in this block area here. I mean, there are some troopers in the front, but most of them are dead. It seems like the UNSC Marines are like concentrating on these houses over here, when the biggest sort of concentration of return fire is coming from over here. It's a little deeper into the lines, but like if that's where you're taking the biggest beating from, I would concentrate fire right there. They're also concentrating a lot of fire on these guys right here, which is good because it's keeping them suppressed, but they're not really amounting to many kills. But I suppose if you're not firing into these guys, then they're going to return fire to you because they're not suppressed anymore. So that would certainly be a toughie. A toughie. The left side is doing phenomenally well for the UNSC Marines. They are taking over these little barricade areas here and stuff like that. They're getting real close to this fortress now. But the right side is just a disaster zone. I mean, there's a few UNSC Marines holding still, but they haven't even taken out the frontal blockade over here. The troopers in the middle are periodically firing over this way to keep these guys suppressed, but it really should be the jobs of those guys behind that downed Warthog, but they're not doing anything. The ODST do have a few Spartans here or there, as you can see by this green Spartan. Unnamed Spartans, not really important to the story or anything like that, but I don't know. I always think it's fun to see a variety of units in here, and that's why I'm kind of bummed that the mod got taken off of the Steam Workshop, because it sort of alludes to the fact that maybe no more work will be done on it, which would be a tragedy because these are so beautiful looking. Though I do know Bungie is very like stingent on people making mods of their creations and things like that, because I know former Halo mods have been taken down due to copyright claims from Bungie. And you know, normally IPs, when it's just like community made mods that aren't making any money, such as Star Wars Galaxy at War and things like that, they tend to turn a blind eye. You know, they don't really care, but I guess Bungie really does care for some reason. Which I guess kind of makes sense because they have IPs like Halo Wars, which are kind of like tactical strategy games, but it's a totally different thing than the Men of War editor. I don't know. I think they just want as much money as possible off of their IP, which is, you know, their prerogative. They can do that completely, but, you know, I prefer, you know, Star Wars' approach where it's like, as long as they're not making money from it, let the community have their fun. Though, I'd imagine at some point maybe we would see a more stingent sort of enforcement of copyright from Star Wars, especially under Disney. You know, once they stop making that big Star Wars money, which already we sort of saw with like Solo and Rise of Skywalker having huge dips in revenue compared to like The Last Jedi and Force Awakens and things like that, then maybe we'll see harsher copyright enforcement to keep things, you know, sort of in their realm, which would be a tragedy. That would basically destroy channels like mine and Baron Von Games and Mighty Mapper 123, etc. You know, people who rely on community-made mods a lot for content and things like that. That would be disastrous. Either way, back to the Halo Wars here. We are still seeing a pretty steady push straight down the middle, though more UNSC troopers are taking losses here and getting wounded or just straight out going down. The real problem is, like, you can kind of see it on the minimap here. They're in like an arrow formation almost. They're the red troopers at the top left. Like, they're yeah, like in sort of an arrowhead, so they're pushing really far in the middle, but the flanks are not secure. It's almost like the Battle of Marathon. The Battle of Marathon is one of the, you know, sort of first definitive tactics of a good pincer movement, where the center of the Athenian forces and the Greek forces folded and allowed the Persians to just sort of charge through, and then the flanks of the Athenians managed to crush in on the Persians. Even though it was a complete accident for that to happen and wasn't planned in the Battle of Marathon, many generals since then have sort of learned from that tactic and used it for themselves. And that's sort of what we're seeing here, but, you know, once again, by accident, the ODST are not even moving around. They're all stagnant in their defensive positions, but the UNSC Marines are doing it to themselves. We can see, like, all these troopers over here probably got crossfired from across the way there and that way because the flanks didn't take care of their positions like they were supposed to, so it's just sort of leading to their demise. Let's go ahead and squad up the attackers now. It's about that time in the gameplay where, you know, they should probably be All stacked up together. There we go. There we go. Squadding up. They are not practicing social distancing. Boo! Well, this is a different time, a different universe. No, same universe. Future. Past Corona. Either way, we got troopers firing in the grasslands still. I mean, they're still at least getting constant fire out, which is good to see. They're not giving up just yet, but you can certainly see their assault is dwindling, and they're likely outnumbered by the ODST now, who are still holding very, very strong. It's not a good look right now. It is not a good look in the slightest. Alright guys, so I decided to give the UNSC Marines a little bit of a reinforcement boost here. So they've got about 6 more squads coming in, which is an additional maybe 100 troopers. It evens the odds a little bit, but this is all they're going to be getting, mainly because I wanted to see the UNSC Marines push into the center of the factory here. I wanted to see these, you know, defensive positions in play, because we'll never get to see these guys in the very back unless we, you know, give the UNSC Marines a little bit of assistance here, because they were a dying breed there for a little while. So they've got a little bit of a reinforcement going on here. That's all they're going to get, and we'll see what they end up doing with it. Maybe they can make some things happen, or maybe they will fail miserably. But here they come. They're running on in here beautifully, aiding, and it seems like it's actually pushing some of the other troopers forward as well. Perhaps the reinforcements boosted morale a little bit and made it so the other troopers were like, hey, we'll go forward too, man. As long as we're with you guys, we'll get it popping. You know, morality in war is very, very important. If you don't have good morale in your army, then you are on a surefire path to defeat. So, you know, even just reinforcements coming in can boost that morale and can make the current soldiers on the battlefield fight 10 times harder due to it. It doesn't make the fighting any less easier. I mean, it does actually, to a point, to a degree. You know, reinforcements does make them able to spread out a little bit more and get more fire out, and also have a bit more cannon fodder. However, at the same time, there's still a pretty steadfast ODST defense here. These guys are unbudging, and they haven't been budging for the past few minutes now. They have really sat just heavily in their positions and have done an excellent job of defending so far. So I don't even know if the UNSC Marine reinforcements will help at all, because these defenses are very well controlled at the moment. It also doesn't help that a large portion of the military isn't firing at all. Like, all of these guys in the middle aren't helping in the slightest. Now it seems like, in fact, the flanks are the ones who are pushing super far forward and fighting in the war. Meanwhile, the center isn't doing anything right now. Kind of the opposite of what we experienced in the early stages of the battle here. Either way, a few of them, in fact, getting to the wall here. They are getting further than they ever have before, which is great. You know, we're at least getting to see other aspects of the battlefield, which is sort of what we wanted from these reinforcements here. We wanted to open up other avenues and get to observe more of the battle, because it's not every day that you see this massive UNSC Marine charge going on. So we're making the most of it here, boyos. But you know, the more I'm seeing the ODSTs just hold fast, just hold absolutely fast here, the more I'm doubting their ability to overtake the ODST defense. I think it's just going to be one of those defenses that's just so good you can't defeat it. It was sort of like that Battle of Anaxis we did the other day. That battle was ridiculous. I mean, those clone troopers could not penetrate the droid fortress on Anaxis for the life of them. That defense was so unbelievably impressive. Like, even when I started commanding the units, we couldn't break through. That's how staunch of a defense that was. Super impressive stuff right there, if we're being completely honest. Well, the UNSC Marines do at least have some cover further ahead here with this stone wall and this stone wall over here. So they're at least getting to, you know, act a little bit defensively, as opposed to before, where they were just out in the open here. So that's certainly going to boost morale as well as performance for sure, and you know, help against just fatigue too. You can hide behind walls and stuff like that. I think taking out this MG over here is going to be top priority right now, because this ODST trooper has been wreaking havoc on the lines. I'm curious, how many kills has he got? Only 2? defuse you? Okay, that's kind of wild. That guy only has 2 kills. Are you kidding me? That's insane. Oh, actually, while we were looking at that weak MG that I thought was good, our UNSC Marines over here did actually manage to make it to the walls up front here. So progress is actually being made, and they might actually make it into the compound a little bit further here. Looks like no one's really stepped foot in the compound just yet, but it's only a matter of time before they twinkle toes their way in there, baby. I actually was planning on doing Spartans versus Clone Troopers, Clone Trooper Commandos, to be exact, during today's battle. However, I couldn't get the mods to work together. I think something happened where the Halo mod and the ASV mod no longer are compatible, which is tragic. We finally get 2 mods that are compatible with each other, and all of a sudden they're not now. So that's kind of depressing. I have one more trick up my sleeve that I'm going to try, which is finding an older version of the ASV mod that I used previously, but it's going to take me a while to find it. But hopefully when I do, we'll be able to get back into Halo versus Star Wars stuff, which I think is going to be really, really cool. And we took a bit of a hiatus from, but I want to get back into, and tragically we weren't able to this episode because of problems, and so I just reverted to a full-on Halo battle because I couldn't get the Star Wars and Halo to work out together. Either way, the first troopers are starting to enter on into the military base here, taking cover quite a bit. I mean, the battle could only get easier from here because there's going to be so much cover available on the interior areas here, so that's going to be absolutely BEA beautiful. These troopers should really run up to those sandbags right now because they are just in full view of the enemy, taking shots for literally no reason. There we go. Now they're crawling forward to the sandbags a little bit. It's just stupid to stand out here, boys. Come on. You were trained better than this. Get behind cover, fellas. Get behind cover. The left side over here is slowly crumbling for the ODSTs. That was a good grenade. It almost got the kill on that guy, but he managed to dive away just in time, baby. A bunch of UNSC Marines holding up here on this little over the fence area. This is a really cool position, honestly, to be attacking from. I like this a lot. Sadly, most of them are suppressed and refusing to stand up and fire, but if they all just got into a firing line up here instead of coming up every few seconds, like individually, they could totally wipe all of these ODSTs way back here in just an instant. That would be so sick. The ODST lines are taking some pretty extreme losses at this point. They're definitely struggling to survive right now, but they've still got a lot of troopers, so I think it's still kind of a toss-up who's going to end up winning this thing. And if the UNSC Marines win this thing, we do know that we sort of aided them with a few reinforcements, but if we didn't do that, then the battle would have been over like 6 minutes ago, and that would have been boring, and we wouldn't have gotten to see the interior battle over here. So I'm very glad we ended up doing that. I know there will be some people who aren't such a fan of that, but I'm pretty happy we did that. Gotta take a big sip of water here. Being a hydro homie, fellas. Delicious agua. Oh, it's so fine and dandy. I love it so. One piece of news that I wanted to bring up in this video was that I am going to be reopening another Daily Tactics Minecraft server. Previously, I had one going about 2 or 3 months ago when sort of Minecraft made that big resurgence. Remember when PewDiePie like first started his Minecraft series? I also got really into Minecraft and started a daily craft series on my second channel, Daily Productions, and I got a bunch of requests on Discord for people to play with me, so I opened up a Minecraft server that we could all play on together. It was really fun for like a month or two, but then people started stealing and destroying each other's stuff, and it got really toxic and stuff like that. And then eventually it sort of died, you know, only 1 or 2 people hopping online every once in a while. But I did just reach 100 subs on Twitch, and I promised you guys that I would reopen another Daily Tactics Minecraft server once we reach 100 subs. So that's what we're going to be doing now. I will make an announcement when I do release it, but if you're ever interested in hopping in and playing, you know, feel free to join up. I think it'll be a lot of fun, honestly. I think it'll be survival, so if that's sort of your thing, if you enjoy playing survival Minecraft, I would love to have you on there. Me and Zelda will be playing on Twitch, I think, quite a bit together on that server. So if you ever want to play with us, good opportunity. Should be pretty cool. Either way, the UNSC Marines are very deep in. Well, at least this one trooper is. The rest are still sort of at the gates, but this one guy just sort of yote on forward. He's got a little bit back up on the middle path over here. These guys helping out as well. The far right is not making as many gains. They're still pretty far back. If we look at the minimap right now, red are the ODST troopers, blue are the UNSC Marines. The UNSC Marines have certainly made some serious gains, but there's a lot of ODST troopers who are still very, very dug in here and will be challenging to sort of take out. Okay, any UNSC Marines who are staggered way back here, I'm going to bring them all forward. Now's the time to get the battle going here, because a lot of them are just sort of sitting in the back and not doing anything. So anyone who's not doing anything, I'm forcing them forward, and I'll let the AI take it from there just to keep the battle going and keep the assault pushing, because right now it's just sort of cover fire right now, and we're not seeing much in terms of change in battlefield for the time being. But we have a new take on the battle with more troopers at the front, so hopefully that reignites some beautiful fire, some beautiful warfare, and we shall get some much good things. One ODST trooper there takes a dome shot and gets downed. Hate to see it. Another one over here getting downed as well. There's still this machine gunner right there. There's still this machine gunner right there. Is this guy still alive? No, he ended up dying. How many kills did he get in the end? 2. Still only 2. That's so pathetic. How many did this get? This one got 15. That one's very powerful. This one got fully destroyed, so we can't see. This one over here got none, but I think the Warthog with the rocket launcher took it out like almost instantly, so it didn't really have much of an opportunity to get kills. So that wasn't really its fault. It was more luck of the attackers, you know. We do have troopers out here outside of the base in sort of like the final trench line over here, and they're starting to get involved. A few of them, in fact, even dying. These guys way back here. How did you guys get back there? That's confusing. These guys on the far right also dead, but these guys over here still very much alive. These guys in sort of like an encircled sandbag position, firing away, popping up every once in a while, getting some shots off, and then dropping back down. I think the odds of a UNSC Marine victory here are ever increasing, though, you know, we have to admit that the first assault was a complete defeat for the UNSC Marines, but the second assault, you know, was victorious only because of those reinforcements. So you know, take everything with a grain of salt here. It's you know, it's a victory, but certainly they have had way more losses than the ODSTs. Plus, it's not over until it's over here. There are still ODSTs alive, though I doubt they'll be able to kill all of these UNSC Marines. I think the ODSTs will put up a pretty good fight and get even more UNSC Marine kills. But, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, they'll kill every single one of them. I highly doubt it. I don't think it's super plausible, but hey, it's fun to dream. That was a pretty cheeky grenade right there. That was good. All of them managed to get out of the way from it, though, so that's kind of sad to see that hard work and effort not paying off with that grenade. It was such a well-placed one, too, but he needed to hold the timer a little bit longer, and he would have gotten there. So right now there's sort of a last stand of the ODST troopers over here. They're managing to knock out a few new UNSC Marines as they run through this train yard area. That's a really good position right there, because these guys across the way can't shoot him because of the train, so they have to get real close, and then he can just sort of brap them right there, which is very cool. Unless they get flanked from the right, but that's why this guy's here to help out on the right flank, which is beautiful, as well as these guys on the far right flank who are helping out as well. I think the main problem with the Halo guns is that they're pretty inaccurate at a distance. I mean, sort of watching this guy hasn't gotten a single hit on the enemy across the way. They are not the most accurate guns in the slightest. Even the DMRs aren't super accurate. I mean, this guy's missed every shot right now. So maybe that's why these battles last so much longer than the Clone Wars battles. Because if this was a Clone Wars battle, man, the clones or the droids would have won ages ago. But I think the just sort of lack of ability to aim in this is really detrimental to both sides. It just takes them even longer to fight. So we have a massive flank going on right now by this UNSC Marine squad over here. They are flanking all of these ODSTs who are set up over this way. In fact, getting a number of kills on them too. So That is not a very good thing, and we still have an assault going on in the interior of the base over here. In fact, these guys flanking around the back of these train positions, taking them out. What could have been an awesome defense got slaughtered by a brutal flank from the UNSC Marines. So poor ODSTs over there suffered due to that. These ODSTs over this way slowly going down, but they're putting up a good fight. Hopefully they do end up getting at least a few more UNSC Marine kills before they kick the dust. That's all I want to see. Vengeance for the downed ODST brothers. I don't know, who were you guys rooting for? I mean, some of you guys might have been rooting for the UNSC Marines. Some of you guys might have been rooting for the ODSTs. I was kind of rooting for the ODSTs the whole time, I think. But not enough to let them win in the first wave because I wanted to see more of the battle. That's my own, you know, guilty pleasure. I had to do it. Come on, guys. It made it so much better that we got extra... I mean, we got 15 extra minutes of battle here because we increased the number of UNSC Marines. Even though it did lead to their ultimate victory, I think it was worth it for sure. These two ODST troopers getting a heck of a lot of kills right now in their final stand defense. They do end up getting butchered right there. What do we got left? So we have 2 ODST Marines in here, including a Spartan, actually. Those 2 in there, and then that machine gun's actually down for the count. And then we've got 3 ODST troopers on this little outside portion. They managed to get a kill there, which is beautiful. The Spartan and the ODST in here ended up dying. So it's just these three fellas right now who are getting pushed around the side. They managed to get those 2 kills. Yeah, see, the weapons are actually fairly lethal when they're at close range. We're seeing a lot of kills happening at close range. Of course, then when they have to reload, they're not able to kill anymore. But at long range, they are useless. Useless. All right, guys, we can look at the losses here. The ODSTs do end up losing. UNSCs are in red, ODSTs are in yellow, and the UNSC Marines took so many more losses than the ODSTs. Like, probably double. So really, the ODSTs would have won for sure if we hadn't added reinforcements, but the reinforcements made the battle a little bit longer and a little bit more fun, in my personal opinion. Either way, guys, I wanted to say thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to comment down below if you did, subscribe if you haven't already, like the video if you haven't already. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.